start with today's recipe of Dudhi Parathas. Now here I've taken one bottle Gourd or Dudhi, washed it well, and I'm going to peel off the skin, or just peel the Dudhi. And then I'm going to use a cheese grater and just grate it. Now always taste the Dudhi or the bottle Gourd, and if it is bitter, then friends, just discard it. Now these are all the other ingredients. This is some ova or ajwain. This is some cumin powder, coriander powder, red chili powder, haldi or turmeric powder. This is some green chili paste, some garlic paste, some salt to taste. This is some wheat flour. Now all ingredients along with their exact measurements are going to be in the description box below. So I'm just going to add all of these ingredients to the Dudhi. Now one more tip over here is that, as well as the flour, is that don't grate your Dudhi in advance because it does turn brown. So once you have all your other ingredients ready, then you grate the Dudhi and then start making the parathas. Now I added very little water, just about 1/4 cup of water, and we get this lovely smooth and soft dough. Now I'm just going to add a little bit of oil and I'm going to knead the dough well. And then I'm going to keep it in the refrigerator for about 10 to 15 minutes before I roll out the parathas. So now we're just going to roll this out. I've got my pan heating up, just like you would with a normal puri, roti or chapati. And then we're just going to heat it up on a pan. So while one of them is, getting ready, you can roll out the other one. So like I said, first keep all your ingredients ready, and then and when you're ready to make the parathas, only then go ahead and grate the Dudhi or the parathas. Otherwise it does discolor and turn a darkish brown. So now I'm roasting the paratha on one side. That takes about a minute or so. Then I'm going to turn the paratha onto the other side. Let it roast on the other side too, and then I'm going to apply a few drops of clarified butter or ghee. So you'll follow the same steps as you would with a normal paratha, and then flip it over, add just a little bit more of clarified butter or ghee, as little or as much as you like. And then we're just going to fry the paratha till it has these lovely golden brown spots on them, and your paratha is all ready. So don't forget to taste your Dudhi after you grate it. It has to taste really fresh and nice. If it tastes bitter, then do discard it. If you're using bottle Gourd for any other recipe, like I also have uploaded a recipe for Dudhi halwa, which is a very easy recipe without using any mawa or khoya. So I will leave a link in the description box below. That is also a very interesting recipe, and it's a really nice Indian sweet. So now we're just going to fry this till it turns a little bit of golden brown in color, and then we are ready to serve it. You can have this with some mango pickle or just some nice chilled yogurt or curd. So do try this recipe out, friends. It's really healthy and it's really, really delicious. It's super simple. So here I've taken about a cup of meethi, which I've chopped up very fine. Here I have about 5 light green chilies and about 5 cloves of garlic, large cloves of garlic, which I've just ground to a coarse paste. I'm going to add this to my methi along with some haldi powder, some cumin seeds and some asafoetida or hing. Next goes in some salt to taste. Now I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of rice flour and 1 tablespoon of besan or chickpea flour. Now I'm going to add about half a cup of wheat flour, whole wheat flour, just about half a tablespoon of oil, a little bit of water, and we're going to knead this into a stiff yet smooth dough. This would be similar to your puri dough or your chapati dough. Now my dough is ready. I'm just going to put a few drops of oil and just knead it again. And then we're just going to set this aside for about 10 to 15 minutes. Now here I have a pan heating up. I also have my dry whole wheat flour. I have some clarified butter or ghee. So now I'm just going to take, here is my tawa heating up. I'm just going to take a line-sized bowl of this dough, just like you would when you're making a puri or a chapati. And we're just going to roll it out as thin as possible. Now because of the besan or the chickpea flour, this dough becomes very elastic and becomes very easy to roll out this dough. And now my pan is nice and hot, so I'm just going to put it onto the pan on a low to medium flame, turn it up once or twice, and then I'm just going to apply a few drops of clarified butter or ghee. And your thepla or your meethi paratha is all ready. So wasn't that really simple, guys? Few ingredients, but what a lovely and delicious recipe. So friends, for our ingredients we require 1 cup of oats, 1 medium-sized onion which I've chopped up very fine. Then we're going to make a paste of 1 light green chili, half an inch of ginger and about 4 cloves of garlic. We also require the juice of half a lemon or lime. Now these are some powder masalas. Now all the ingredients, I'm going to list them down in my description box as well as my comment box so you can get the exact measurements over there. So these are all the red chili powder, there's some coriander powder, amchur powder, there's some chaat masala, some haldi powder. Also there's some cumin or jeera powder as well as some garam masala. Now this is some regular whole wheat flour dough that we make for rotis or chapatis. Then we're also going to be using some clarified butter or ghee as well as some salt to taste. Now we're going to heat a pan and we're going to dry roast our oats for just about half a minute or so. And then once it comes to, we're going to switch off the gas after half a minute, and once it comes to room temperature, we're just going to grind this to a fine powder. So once we grind it, it will look like this. Now we're going to also make a paste of the green chilies and the ginger and the garlic. Now I've transferred my roasted and ground oats to a large mixing bowl or a regular bowl. Now to this I'm going to add all of the powders, all the powder masalas. I'm also going to be adding in my finely chopped onion, as well as my ginger, garlic and green chili paste. Then we're going to add the lemon juice, and we are going to mix everything well together. Now when you can always make this the filling. Now of course I'm going to add some salt to taste. And you can make this filling and store it, and whenever you want to make the parathas, you can just make them. And now I'm just going to add very little water, say about 2 tablespoons of water, or just enough so that it binds everything together. And then when you knead it, it can become into a soft dough consistency. We don't want it to be very dry, or we don't want it to be very soggy. So it has to be exactly like how a normal paratha filling would be if you're making aloo parathas, to that consistency. So when you hold it together, it forms into a kind of a small ball. Now we're going to heat our pan. I'm using a non-stick pan. Then I'm just going to make a ball out of the whole wheat dough, like how we would with a normal paratha. Roll it out a bit. Then we're going to take about a tablespoonful of the filling. And then we're just going to take the edges together, take off the tip, flatten it down a bit, dust a little of the whole wheat flour, and then just roll it very gently till it becomes into, it becomes evenly rolled out. Now keep your pan heated up on a low to medium heat. And then once our paratha is nice and ready and even on all sides, we're just going to roast it on both sides first. So once one is getting done, you can always prepare the other one. Now with the quantity of the filling that I made, I got 4 quite medium-sized parathas. So like I said, you can make this filling and store it for about 2 or 3 days. And whenever you want to make your parathas, you can just go ahead and make. And then just put a little bit of ghee onto one side, and then flip it over and apply a little bit of ghee onto the other side too. So this is a very ideal kids school tiffin box idea. It's a very great breakfast idea or a tiffin box idea. And it's so healthy too, because you're incorporating oats in your diet. There's whole wheat flour, and these are all lovely. Even the powders that I've added, they all add a very lovely flavor to the parathas, like the amchur powder, the garam masala, and the lemon. So it has very distinct and very lovely flavor. In this way, you can get your kids, your spouse, to have some nice healthy meals. I mean, not everyone likes to have oats. So in this way, you can give it to them. You don't even have to tell them it's an oats paratha. And it's really, really very, very delicious. So in this way, I made my 4 parathas. And now it's time to serve them. So what I like to do is I like to use my pizza cutter, and I like to cut them up into 4s like this. So it looks very nice, and it looks very appetizing this way. And these parathas go really well with some lovely fresh curd, homemade curd or dahi or yogurt, or some mango pickle. I have a recipe of how to make your own yogurt or curd at home, or dahi as we call it. I will leave a link for that in my description box below. Also, I have a recipe for homemade garam masala. I will leave a link for that below. So don't forget to check out my description box as well as the comments box. I will leave a link to all those recipes. So we had it with this lovely chilled yogurt and some mango pickle, and it was simply divine. It was so filling and it was so nice because you know you're putting nice healthy things into your tummy. So friends, I hope you like today's healthy paratha recipe. I hope you give it a try and I hope you let me know in the comments box below how you liked it. Or my keema. Now I'm using chicken keema. So I have about 250 grams over here. Then I have one medium-sized onion chopped fine. This is about 10 cloves of garlic made into a paste. This is Everest meat masala. This is about 1 inch of ginger grated fine and some Kashmiri chili powder. And of course, we require some salt to taste. Now I've just heated about 2 tablespoons of oil and I've added the onions. I'm going to fry the onions really well till they're nice and translucent. Next goes in my garlic paste. I'm going to fry this too well till all the rawness of the garlic goes away. Then goes in my ginger. I'm going to fry this well too. Now, when you're making the ginger paste, just peel the ginger and then make the paste. And of course, you can use that peel in your tea. When you're making tea, you know, when you're boiling your tea, you can just add the ginger peel. Just a tip here. Then I'm going to add my meat, that is the mince or the keema, and I'm going to fry everything really well till the color of the keema changes from a pink to a white. Then I'm going to add my meat masala and the Kashmiri chili powder and the salt. And I'm going to keep frying everything well till all the masala gets nicely mixed with the keema. I'm going to add about 1 cup of water and again give everything a good mix. And then I'm just going to cover and cook it till the mince is nice and cooked. And that's it. That's my simple keema recipe. When you're having it, you can have it with some pav and just squeeze some fresh lime on it, and you know your keema is all ready. Of course, this has to get cooked a little more, so I'm going to cover and cook it for about another 5 to 7 minutes. And that's it. Your keema is all ready, and you can enjoy this with some pav with a big dash of lemon juice. Now I'm going to fry this keema well till it starts to dry. And then I'm going to refrigerate it for at least 20 minutes. I want all the moisture to be taken away from the keema, so I'm going to fry it well in a pan or in the same pot. And I'm going to refrigerate it. And then I'm going to start making my parathas. That way it's easier because if you have any moisture in your parathas, you know, it's going to be very difficult to roll out the parathas. Now this is my normal whole wheat dough that I use to make chapatis or puris. So I've just taken a lemon-sized ball. I'm just going to make it nice and smooth. Now I've got my pan already heating. And I'm just going to roll this with my chapati roller. Not too big, just to a little medium size like this. Now my keema is become nice and you know it's chilled and there's no moisture in it. So I'm just going to add about 2 teaspoons of it, or you can add as much as you like, little or more. And I'm just going to spread it out onto the rolled out whole wheat flour. And then I'm just going to take the edges in like this. Take off the tip. Press it down. And then just dust some whole wheat flour on top. And I prefer using my hands when I'm making this keema parathas rather than using the roller, because then you know I can evenly spread out the paratha, and even the meat doesn't really come out because it is a little different when you're making keema parathas than you know regular aloo parathas. It's much more easier to make an aloo paratha, but with keema, because it's got meat and it's not a very fine mixture, so you can use your hands like this. Just keep turning it and just keep pressing the edges. And that's it friends, your paratha is ready, and now we're just going to roast it on the pan like we would with a normal paratha. And you can put a little bit of whole wheat flour, that makes the process a little easier. Or you can very gently roll the rolling pin onto the paratha. but keep it very gentle, because otherwise if the meat starts coming out of the paratha, then it becomes a little difficult. And then I'm just going to continue roasting it on I'm using a non-stick pan for this. And then I'm just going to turn it over on one side. And then I'm just going to apply a little bit of clarified butter or ghee. When you're making parathas, it's always better to use ghee rather than oil. It just elevates the flavor and the paratha really comes out awesome. So you just continue in this way, and that's it. It's so simple, friends. So I hope you all do try out this recipe. It's really, really delicious.